Hey, it's Nina.
And Ashley back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Gettin It podcast.
Woo, woo.
Episode 17, bitch. Didn't mean to curse it, y'all. So, just as a reminder, make sure to find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Gettin It podcast. Subscribe, leave a review, because we love you. I love you, babies. Just like Monique. Oh, did I rhyme?
You did.
What'd I say?
I don't remember, but you rhymed.
Oh, hey, y'all. Bars. Also, make sure to find us on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. And you can follow us on there, too. You also can comment. We reply. Yeah, we do. Also, you can find us on YouTube. Just search, once again, Young and Gettin It podcast. And we say Gettin because there's no G at the end. There's an apostrophe at the end because we're getting it. We're not getting it. That's for the man. Anyway, you can also find us on GooglePlay, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast. You know, all you have to put is Young and Gettin Podcast because we're lit. We're everywhere. Platforms. That's how we do it.
Yeah, and you could also find us on Twitter and Instagram at, YAGI_podcast. You could also find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/weare.
No.
YAGI pod. And the thing is, I practiced this in my head beforehand and I still fucked
Say
up.
the full thing again.
Yeah, www.facebook.com YAGI pod. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Facebook.com/YAGI pod.
All right, and then our website is www.weareyagip.com. You can find all our content there. You could contact us there. You could see our Instagram pictures there. Everything is there, linked, hooked up, ready to go.
Yep.
And it's not fucked up like me saying our social media every week. I be tired, people, okay? I try.
We're actually very tired right now.
Extremely.
Like, when Ashley got here, I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, how am I gonna tape? I'm so tired. Oh yeah, also email us, Ashley and NinaPod at gmail.com and we'll respond to you. Send us your look at gods, you know, or I see you universe. Send us those. Send us anything.
For those,
you know,
atheists out there.
If we say things that piss you off, because I'm sure at this point we have said some shit that has to have pissed somebody off, let us know. We're not gonna be mean to you. We're not bullies, so you know.
No, never that. And unfortunately, this is our last episode in Black History Month. Like, that shit was so fucking short, y'all.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Like, the month was long, but short at the same time.
No, this shit flew by.
Yeah,
I just remember it was like, oh, it's already the middle of the month.
I be telling people it's already 2019. People don't realize it yet, so.
They will soon enough. Like, once you become an adult, time fucking speeds the fuck up.
Man. But the cool thing is, once you get successful, it'll start to slow down again.
I can't wait.
I don't want to be one of those successful people where, like, you're working all the time. My ultimate goal is to work 20 hours a week and get paid a minimum of 6 figures.
Yep.
So, like, I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to do shit. Like, there's this white girl, she's super pretty, called Tammy Hebro. I think she's friends with the Kardashians, but she's probably friends with more people. But she posted, like, you know, I'm living my dream. She probably grew up kind of privileged because she's white. But anyway.
She's friends with the Kardashians, I mean.
Right, and their definition of privilege. She was like, you know, I'm just really happy I get to live my dreams. I own my own business. I can travel wherever and whenever I want. She has 2 beautiful kids. She's super pretty. She has abs, like, full on, like, it's funny because her husband takes some of her Instagram pictures and, like, he gets good angles of her. Like, there was one where she was like, y'all need to thank my husband because she was like, y'all gonna say I edited this picture and I made sure not to edit shit so y'all can just know my husband's with it with the angles, because he got her waist to where her waist was, like, invisible, like, it was gone, her waist disappeared. But I think, she definitely got her lips done like everyone else.
Oh wow.
Lips are nasty, y'all. Have y'all realized that lips are coming out looking like shit?
At this point, I'm just gonna let them do what they want and claim it as beauty, you know, because it's not gonna stay looking beautiful.
It's not.
So I'm not opposed to it. Y'all get your lips done.
I'm like, damn, in 10, 20. But the thing is,
I am tired of it.
I always say, like, oh, in 10, 20 years, it's going to look bad. But people with money, like, they're just going to touch it up.
But, like, you could touch it up too much to make it, and it'll look nasty.
Yeah. If people, I don't know, if you have Kris Jenner money, Kris Jenner is just a boss at everything. Because, like, she got a facelift first. I remember that, like, when the Kardashians first started. Because Bruce Jenner got a facelift when he was still Bruce Jenner. And her face is tight as fuck. And then, like, you know, they're doing that work. I really want to get the vampire facial. I will soon. It's just so expensive. That shit is like $400 a session.
Okay,
Anyway,
well, let's be done
off of
talking
these
about
white
them,
people, yeah.
because it's Black History Month.
No diss.
Look at us getting sidetracked.
Man, we have opinions.
Yeah, right. We want to do our little Black History Month.
Yes.
Person, inventor, importance, anything representing the folks, something we don't know.
Because we've done some important shit.
Yeah, and so the person I would like to highlight is Dr. James E. West. He's an electric microphone inventor. I thought he was a good person because, you know, we use microphones every time we do this podcast. You use a microphone on your phone. Like, a lot of things have microphones, okay?
Yeah.
So 90% of microphones used today are based off the ingenuity of James Edward West. Shout out Africa, okay? African American. Yes. He was born in 1931 in Prince Edwards County in Virginia. And if you've ever talked on a telephone, you probably used his invention. He and his partner Jahard Sussler developed the mic officially known as the electroacoustic transducer electric microphone while with Bell Laboratories, and they received a patent for it in 1962. The acoustical technologies employed became widely used for many reasons, including high performance, acoustical accuracy, and reliability. It is also small, lightweight, and cost effective. So, you know, he's bomb.com, you know. He has 47 patents in the U.S. and 200 foreign patents from his 40-year career with Bell Laboratories. So he was in there going up, y'all. Like, he was like, I'm getting this 9 to 5 and I'm making my shit happen just for me and everybody else. Yeah,
that's lit. Okay, so my Black History nigga of the month. No, I'm just kidding. That's kind of like not
they would
okay.
be like, bitch, don't call me a nigga.
That's really, yeah, they would not be okay.
Now they
wouldn't
even call you a bitch. They'd be like, sister girl,
sister. Don't call. And they wouldn't even say nigga back. They would say, don't call me a nigger. That's not for us.
Don't put that bad juju on me.
It wasn't in the times where they were really using the word. I'm
for
sure
me, like,
a little bit, but
nigga is an adjective at this point.
Yeah,
but only if you're black.
There's many ways you can use that word.
Person, place, or thing.
If you're not black, don't be surprised if someone get pissed off at you for using that word, because you're privileged, so you probably shouldn't be using it. Okay, so something I thought was really cool was Phil Brooks, who was born in 1901, passed in, I think it said 1985, is an African American inventor who received a U.S. patent for a disposable syringe on April 9th, 1974. Which, I mean, Ashley and I are both in the medical field, so it's like disposable syringes are necessary for so many reasons.
You know how many get used a day at my job?
1 million.
Like, damn.
So many. Like, I remember when I used to actually work in the hospital. Now I work in the labs because the hospital is just a little much for me. But it's like, we use so many disposable syringes. Even in our lab, our research lab in my last job, we used a lot, actually. We ran through those disposable syringes to do, like, what was it? We were, like, processing proteins.
Assays, titration.
Yeah, we were processing proteins before we started assays or whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, so just Google it.
We don't want to talk about it.
So I actually, when I looked this up, I was like, okay, he got the patent for the disposable syringe in 1974, and I was like, okay, when did AIDS become poppin'? I mean, not poppin'. When did AIDS
pop off?
Yeah, like when did AIDS pop off? But they said the AIDS epidemic, HIV epidemic, I guess it's supposed to be called, started in 1985. But I'm like, that's just when the epidemic started. So I think people were already seeing signs of HIV. They just didn't know it was HIV.
Yeah, they didn't know what it was.
They just saw people were really sick, and then the use of, and then like sharing needles, you could share diseases. Even if you sterilize it, as much as you sterilize it, you can still catch something. Just because some of these viruses are crazy.
Yeah, like hepatitis is one of those. So I got poked with a needle at work a few weeks ago, whatever. And so I remember like later on, one of the doctors was talking about it. He was like, to his student, and he was like, yeah, if you get poked with a needle and it has HIV, your chances, you could get it, you might get it, you might not, you know. But he was like, if you get poked with a needle that has hepatitis, you're getting it. Damn. Because it's just like hepatitis is more virulent than HIV. So in like one drop of blood, there's so much more hepatitis virus than there
So
is
gross.
HIV virus. Like, it's still equally as nasty.
So what did you have to do after you poked yourself?
Oh, I got, like, you go get the test and all that shit. Like, you get
Oh.
the HIV test, hepatitis, you get all those tests.
Damn, you had to really go get tested because you poked yourself.
Yeah. And then you still have to
Shit.
get tested again, of course, in like 3 months because it's HIV.
Right.
You
So it
know?
might not be showing up. Well, let's hope you don't have HIV. That wouldn't.
Yeah, no,
Or
that wouldn't be
hepatitis.
cool. But the patient didn't have it, so
Yeah, and they
like
didn't
they
have
test the
hepatitis.
patient and then they test you.
They didn't. The patient didn't have shit, did he?
No.
Probably didn't have shit.
No,
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes
I
sense.
definitely checked.
But yeah, so guys, disposable needles are necessary because everyone gets sick.
Yeah, everybody gets sick and it's just not safe to like fucking share shit.
Yeah. So now that we're done with Black History Month, let's talk about a topic that it's something that like I've noticed but not really fully noticed until recently. And it took experiences for me to be able to correlate that they are all related. So what I'm talking about is, first of all, let me disclaimer, we've talked a lot of shit about men and we've talked a lot of shit about white people. So
It's somebody else's turn now.
at no point are we gonna talk about I mean, I guess one time we'll talk about niggas versus black men because those are two different things. Like how they say black men don't cheat, niggas do. But we'll talk about that on a different episode. This episode we gonna talk shit about women.
Black women specifically.
Black women. Well,
not maybe no. It's a lot. It's all y'all
yeah,
bitches.
it's all because
y'all.
it used to be black, but now that everyone's interracially dating and super, not even just dating, interracially everything, it's really just bitches in general.
Yeah.
So, okay. So whenever I meet basically anyone and they ask like, oh, what do I do for a living? What do I got my degree in? And I'm like, oh, biochemistry, get my master's in finance. I'm a laboratory operations specialist. They're like, they look at me and they're like, oh shit. Cause I guess they know my age is like, she's somewhere around 25 probably. And they're like, oh shit, like she's doing a lot.
Yeah, because I didn't realize people get surprised that you have your bachelor's at 25. And like,
Yeah.
apparently it's a thing for people to get excited. To me, I'm just like, this
this
normal.
is super normal. Yeah, because someone asked me,
Yeah.
do you have your bachelor's or your associates? No, he said, are you working on your bachelor's or your associates? I said, I'm working on my master's. And it's interesting that they go to those just because they don't expect you to go so far, which I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at that person for asking the question like that. It's just interesting to see like where they would assume that you probably were, not thinking like, oh, I'll have my master's this year, which is crazy. But it's like, you know, I know we'll turn up at that time where we'll do something crazy at that time. But yeah, it's like people have those surprise reactions like, oh my God, why would you study? Even when we were studying it, because they would be like, oh my God, why are you studying neuroscience? Oh my God, I could never do that. Like, because Ashley's has her bachelor's in neuroscience. And I always thought like, oh, it's just because it's a hard major. People are looking at us like, oh shit, oh my God. Or when we have conversations with men and they're like super intrigued with everything we're saying. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably just because they, you know, don't meet women who do great. I mean, they don't meet people who do degrees like that often. But then I had an experience. I had an experience where I went somewhere and I was surrounded by all women. It was actually like a ladies' night.
Guess who told her to stay at home before she went?
Ashley.
Yep.
And
there's a trend here, guys.
and well, I'm glad I went because now I know not to do it again. But
learning the hard way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that again. We're just gonna separate that stuff. But yeah, so I was around a group of girls, all more or less my age. So maybe the youngest was 23 and the oldest was like 28. You know, like all around 25. And I had to study for my finals, even though I was at my friend's birthday party. So I'm off to the side, and so I'm for the maybe half of the time I wasn't talking to anyone. I was on my phone. But then obviously when you're on your phone, you kind of like be nosy and you listen to conversations that are going on around you, especially if they're going on right next to you. So I wasn't even trying to listen. I actually was just overhearing because it was so close to me. And not even just the person next to me, but I noticed over the next couple of hours, everybody in the room, all females, were talking about the least, like things with the least depth, things with the least intelligence, things with saying the dumbest shit and talking about how they're getting treated like shit, but how they're staying. So all these bitches were talking about was, oh well, this nigga ain't treating me right. Like, he don't call me. I don't even need to be dealing with that when I know another nigga who can get me into this club, and he has party buses all the time too. So this nigga can get me in a party bus for free whenever. And this nigga also said he'll fly me out eventually. And it's like, ooh.
Why?
That was probably the deepest conversation that went on that night too.
Yeah.
And then like another conversation where this girl was like, oh, this guy's so fine, he treats me like shit and has other bitches, but he's so fine. And she showed me the picture and the nigga was ugly. And I was like, oh my god, these bitches are like doing anything for niggas. Like, no. And like, it was literally just conversations like that, and to the point where I had to text Ashley like, what the fuck conversations are going on around me? It was all about just niggas, but it wasn't just about like niggas like, oh, I met this guy, he's super cute and sweet. It was like, this nigga's treating me like shit, and I can find another nigga who can get me into 2 clubs instead of 1 club. And like, why am I gonna go to that club in LA when I can go to this club near me for cheap? And it's like,
why you shouldn't like,
why are you going to a club? I mean, go to a club, but what the fuck? Like,
because wasn't it a weekday too?
Yeah, that shit was a whole like Wednesday, but it was like I'm comfortable with that to an extent.
Yeah,
I've never been.
It's just like your whole like.
Yeah, I've never been in a situation where I heard that much of that type of conversation. That's what broke the, like, where I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I've never heard so much of that low level ass conversation. And I know you're around your girls and stuff, but the problem is at no point nobody talked about anything intelligent.
Yeah, something
and
substantial.
It's not like you have to be like, how do you feel about the way Trump has dealt with? No, you don't. You could just be like, you could talk about black issues, like Black Lives Matter. I just shortly talked
your
to
job, maybe like what you're trying to do, your aspirations.
Like, I'm trying to get it, and there was only one girl at that party who had a brain, and so like I talked to her about politics for 2 seconds, but then someone cut us off because our conversation was too boring for them to listen to.
They should have went the fuck somewhere else.
And it's like
something else.
Yeah, and it's like when I hear that type of conversation, it almost makes me realize like I see why people react to us the way they react to us now, because 80% of that room was not smart. And I'm like, what if that's 80% of the female population? What if they're a representation?
And that's how I feel like it is. I feel like for the most part, like, black women, yes, we are the most educated, and it's turning out like a lot of the black women that I know are the breadwinners. But it's like there's still that very large population of black women and just women in general that just ain't shit. That like their goal is to really marry somebody and be taken care of. Like,
to this day, never. How the fuck do bitches not know how to cook? Yeah. There's women out here who really don't know how to cook, and y'all could say this and that, but nah, I look down on people who don't, men and women.
Yeah, if you don't know how to cook.
Because men should be able to put something together too. So,
even if it's the same thing all the time.
I mean, all
have that one meal down.
Have that one. Like, there's women who don't know how to cook.
So, there's women that are nasty as fuck too.
There's women that are nasty.
They're not clean. There's also grown ass women that fucking still wipe back to front instead of front to back. Like,
oh my god, are you serious?
And you wonder why your nigga don't want to eat your pussy. Oh, did I ever show you that meme where it was like, no, it was like a tweet, and the girl was like, yeah, my coworker told me that she doesn't like beards because when niggas go down on her and then they come up to kiss her, their beard stinks.
That's your pussy?
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. She said that out loud.
I'm glad there wasn't a name attached to the tweet as whoever you may be, but like, homegirl,
she said their
drink
beard
some
stings.
Water, okay, a lot of water.
She said their beards.
Make sure you wear cotton panties. Go to the doctor.
And
wipe the right way.
Wipe from front to back. Another thing, okay, I was telling my friend about this because my gynecologist told me this like maybe 2 years ago, because she was saying like, your vagina self cleans itself. So she was like, that whole, OBGYNs, they cover your whole front to back, so anus included. And she was like, yeah, you're not supposed to wash that entire area with soap at all. And I was like, what?
How?
And she was like, yeah, you just use warm water and like, or lukewarm water and rinse it. And she was like, yeah, that's why. She was like, why do you think girls get yeast infections so often? It's because they're fucking shit
using
up.
Like perfume, like strong
perfumed
perfume
things. Yeah,
like Summer's Eve, whatever that shit is.
Yeah,
that shit ain't gonna do nothing.
But
for
even
you.
those regular soaps, because people would be, I mean, I use body wash, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, some people use like St. Ives or whatever. But she was like, yeah, you're not supposed to use soap. And I couldn't fully subscribe to that.
Yeah, I
and
can't subscribe to that
and not use soap.
I'll use a mild soap.
That's where I had to switch it. I had
Yeah.
to use, first of all, for my butt, I'm always gonna wash that bitch with soap.
My
Because
booty hole is not about to be
There's
stinky
E.
ever.
coli going on in there.
It's like it stinks. It's your
Yeah,
booty hole.
it stink. There's boo boo right inside. So I'm always gonna wash that bitch with soap. But the pussy area, I just try to interchange.
Yeah.
Because that one, you could tell when you clean it that it really is
Yeah.
cleaning. So it's like I try to just off on
Yeah.
it. But I'm like,
A little TMI, but
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever. I mean, people need to know.
You need to
'cause
be clean. You need to
bitch,
spread your lips and
if
wash
you don't
them.
like
Okay.
niggas with beards because his beard stink, it's because
Like,
your pussy stink. Because that's not
ew.
his beard, it's your pussy.
The things that grown women don't know. So I had an old friend that 2 old friends. It's very embarrassing. It's real sad.
Oh, God.
I kind of don't want to do it, but I am.
Just do it.
Okay. Yeah. So it's happening. So we were talking one day and we were like about to go swimming or something. And I was like, oh, I'm on my period. Or like one of them said it. And then so I was like, yeah, like your period stops like when you are like in water. So this individual took it literally, or maybe she's understood that that way like her entire life. But she was like, yeah, like, because when you get in the shower, do you bleed? Asking this to my other friend, and my other friend looks at her and she's like, no, I don't. And I'm just like, okay, I don't even know how to correct this at this point without making them feel like a dumbass bitch. I was like, so I'm not going to say nothing.
Wait, I'm confused. Don't you still bleed in the shower?
You definitely bleed in the shower.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, what?
So they thought like as soon as water touches your body just know like, yeah, bitch, stop bleeding.
Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I had to go to sleep for a second because that shit made me real tired.
Oh my God.
No, you didn't think.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at myself. I'm like, what am I on my period?
You will have that blood trail down.
Plus you got to clean it. So you really be trailing. Like, but okay. Wow. Yeah, I remember.
Sorry, guys. Like all the
No.
men out there. But it's like if you're a grown ass man, this is one little thing that fucking irritates me. If you're a grown ass man and you are up in pussy and you plan to get somebody fucking pregnant, you can handle period talk. Because it's going to be a part of your fucking life. Okay? Okay.
Man, men be trying to.
They be annoying me.
Men are just something else. There was a meme that said, "A woman giving birth is almost as painful as a man with a flu." And I was like, "That's how much y'all be crying."
Baby.
Niggas do be whining like, "Oh my God!" When niggas be whining about being sick, like, I'll be like, are you gonna stop whining? Like, oh my God.
Like, you know it's not that bad, right?
You're
like,
fine.
chill, bruh.
Like, oh my
Chill.
God. But yeah, sorry, we had to just tangent really quick.
off on that.
But yeah, it's like I kind of noticed that like there are just like there's a lot of dumb niggas out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of dumb females out there, and it's like I guess y'all were made for each other. Like, because I look at girls who are like dumb and just about like, let me just be cute on Instagram and show my body, and like I don't go to college because like it's just not for me, and like I hate homework, so I'm just gonna those bitches, like those dumb
but
bitches.
guess
Right?
who still did it?
We all hate homework. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because I knew that was a way to secure a bigger bag.
Yeah, it's like those bitches, they also aren't picky. So a nigga could be cute with no degree working
And no substance.
and they'll be like, well, he's cute and he's fun to kick it with,
Yep.
and that's your next boyfriend.
No.
And that's why it's like girls like that have so many more options. It's like I cut my options because I don't even date niggas without degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you don't have a bachelor, associates, I don't know what that is. so I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know
Damn,
what that does
sis.
for you. So this is the thing. If you can have no degree, but you have to already be doing it for yourself, which is why you never got your degree.
Yeah.
That's the only caveat that I have. So you can have an associate's, but you need to have a good reason as to why you only got your associate's.
Yeah, and you still better be out there grinding. And
You gotta
better
be
out there. You better be smart still.
Yeah.
Because like
Oh
we
my God.
said, like, okay, so college, I saw this online. I'm going to paraphrase it. It says that college isn't necessary to gain education, although it is one means of gaining education.
Yeah, people forget the second part.
Yeah, like with Google out there, with YouTube out there, like, do you know how much shit I have learned off of YouTube? Like,
right.
I fucking Googled surgical accesses in surgery just so I could know, like, follow along, like, oh, the surgeon's doing this now because he's using this tool. Like, I didn't fucking have to read no book or go to any type of like medical school to learn that. Like I actively sought out this knowledge and gained it. So it's also, you have to be hungry for that education. I feel like some people aren't. Like they're okay with where they're at. Like they're okay with having a conversation with somebody and somebody says a word they don't know. They're okay with like not knowing it forever. If somebody says something to me and they don't know it, I don't know what the word means, I'll look it up or I'll ask them like, oh, what does that mean?
And that's like an enjoyment thing for me. Like if I hear a word, honestly, when people say a word that I don't know, I'm like, oh. Yeah, and like, I really do get taken aback. Like, what word is,
what does that mean?
What word is that?
Like, why isn't that in my repertoire of vocabulary?
Yeah,
like I don't know what that means.
I really be excited. Like, wait, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if
I
they don't
stay
know,
doing that when I read stuff too. Like if I'm reading it, especially on my phone, it's real easy. You double tap the fucking word and go to look up,
right? And
it'll tell you what it means.
Yeah. So
like even I be checking my text messages sometimes. Like I'll be reading, I'm like, let me make sure I use this right word in the right context.
Yeah.
And I'll double click the word and check it before I fucking send my text. Because you can't be out here using words wrong, even though I still do it sometimes.
Yeah, we all do.
Like, you really don't want to be that person that uses words wrong.
Yeah,
and nobody wants to tell you.
And there's still words that we struggle spelling. That's just something that happens when you grow up. But it's like we're kind of hungry for knowledge. We're not all day like, oh, let me learn something. Because we're tired.
But I strive to learn something every day.
We strive to learn, like, just in general. And it's like, it's crazy how many people, like I said, as soon as I started talking to my friend about something intelligent, someone interrupted us because our conversation was quote unquote boring. And it's not like they said, oh, I'm gonna interrupt you. It was obvious in the way it was done. Like, oh, this is something that's boring. Let me interrupt and talk about like a nigga or talk about this club or talk about, and it's like, we're in the era where like, bitches are becoming prostitutes just to get Louis Vuitton bags. And like,
real talking, calling it a sugar baby.
They're calling it
bitch, you a sex worker. If you didn't know that was part of the fucking classification, you're a sex worker.
Like, yes, you're called an escort, and yes, it's an arrangement. You're a prostitute.
Yeah.
So
you opening them cheeks.
Because we had that friend who was an escort, and she kept saying she didn't fuck nobody, but she did.
She was fucking.
So, and the thing is,
no way.
We knew it. So why are you lying?
Like don't lie, your pussy sis.
Right, we knew you were fucking, but it's like she's fucked so many people, she just doesn't want people to know anymore.
She probably forgot.
But yeah, so see how we can talk about dumb shit? Like we can talk about dumb shit. We just strive for knowledge. Yeah,
but like, what is this gonna accomplish for me in my day?
And I think this is what makes, like, when we meet like other people, when we meet guys, this is what makes our conversation interesting with them, because we can talk about bullshit, ain't nothing, like whatever, wop wop, and then we could talk about
switch it up real quick,
talk about intelligent stuff, teach them things about the body, because people don't be knowing stuff about the body, and they get blown away when you give them a huge fact. You know, like, we can switch it up. And I know, and the thing that I've always noticed is the surprise in people's faces. It always confused me. But now that I'm meeting dumb bitches, I don't know if it's because we've grown and we've like elevated a little bit from being undergrads. It's like, I'm realizing like, damn, y'all have no substance. Like y'all will fuck heavy with a nigga with no degree and no substance. Like, you know, like, and like I said, you can not have a degree if you have substance.
Exactly.
If you've done it for yourself. That's why we're called Young and Gettin it. Like, you don't have to be a degree, have to have a degree to be young and getting it. Nope. You just need to be young and getting it.
You gotta have that ambition.
And if you're young and getting dick, you're not one of us. Like, I mean, like, you can be, but if that's all you doing, you ain't one of us.
Like, cause you know, I'm young and getting dick from my nigga, but that's not it.
Yep.
So, sorry. Shout out to my baby, whom I always like. I like having stimulating conversations with him. And like, so I try like always ask him, of course, how his day was, and then I also ask, what did you learn today? Because even if you think you didn't learn anything today, you learned something today. You just haven't been asked the question and you haven't been made to think on what you learned today.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, that's super smart.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, so I mean, overall, I don't want to like. Hold on, let me look at my phone, because I didn't rag on these bitches enough, but I want to make sure I kind of we talked about hoe ass bitches, because bitches be prostituting just to be popular
like
now.
Calling it other shit.
Yeah, like you just want material things.
Yeah, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with it technically. Just like live your truth.
Yeah,
just claim it.
And it's like, and that's the thing. Oh, like I told you also is there's girls who aren't like that, who aren't dumb, who are deep, who are, you know, real bitches, and it fucks up their self-esteem to see a girl walking around like, oh, well, I got this nigga and this nigga's on me, and da-da-da-da. But you don't know you're being jealous of a bitch who doesn't have a brain. And it's like, you see, and she might be pretty, but it's like, yeah, they can bag a baller, but do you want to, I fundamentally never want to marry a nigga who's marrying me for how I look.
Yeah, never that.
I want him to think I'm pretty, but I do not want that.
That's
to
not
be
this key circumstance right there. That's not the deal breaker.
Because some people are like, she's fine as hell, and she might not have substance, but she cute.
Like what?
And I'm just not with it. So it's like, it sucks that they make other people feel bad about themselves. And a lot of them are trying, because some people
make themselves smaller because they think since they're not out here having 50 different niggas hollering at them,
right,
and that they're not having a nigga buy them a Louis bag or take them out to this expensive ass
restaurant. For that bag.
Yeah, like she had there. It's a business deal. It wasn't, that bag didn't come out of the pureness out of your heart, like from that person. Like maybe in some instances,
right,
it does,
exactly.
But those instances, I feel like are few and far between.
Right.
Unless it's like a real relationship. Like if you're in a real relationship and your nigga spoil you, cool. But like if the means of the relationship is to get personal or financial gain, and you're with this person because of their money, that's where the problem lies.
And you guys don't even have that real connection where you guys have deep conversation, or you guys like have a real relationship going
and then
on.
Work towards like building a future and stuff. Like that's all stuff that comes with a real relationship. And like you out here fronting saying you're in one, but it's like, nah, bitch, that's an arrangement.
Yeah, like if you're really fucking with niggas for like to get shit, and if you're I just realized like all them bitches, I don't ever want to hang out with y'all. Like and it's like I like making friends when they're good friends, but like no.
I'm open to new friendships.
2018 is the year of me also like surrounding myself with the right people and getting
company,
right, getting rid of all the other trash that was in my life. So it's like it's, even though I was cool talking to people, chilling with everybody, I'm like, there's only a select few out of that entire group that I will talk to again.
And it will fuck with your mental. Like the people you surround yourself with really matters. And I realized, like, from one boyfriend's set of friends to my other boyfriend's set of friends, how many like influential people I met, how many people I met that inspired me to do better and be better, like how many people I could have these bullshit ass conversations with, but also talk about something stimulating and talk about something that will help enlighten my future, like fucking learning something.
People who are moving towards change, like it's because there's so many young people right now that are working towards change, just like we are and what we're planning. There's other people doing it, so it's kind of cool to see where we'll be in 10 years when it comes to like making progress. And when we do it, we want to be surrounded around the people who influenced us, not the people who are talking about bullshit and trying to
trying to get me to go to the club.
Right, like
talking about my pocket, like like
exactly.
It's theirs. Like no, I can't be with people like that.
And I always say, I'm like, let's just wait. I'm like, 10 years from now, it's gonna be a whole different situation, and people don't realize it. Like people are focused on. We talked about it on the last episode. People are too focused on like right now, and it's like that's just not where we are. Because
right now ain't forever. Like it builds your forever, but the right now, like
it ain't.
You got to think about the forever first, and then the right now. So the right now plays into the future that you want.
And I understand, like, because it does suck waking up and going to work and being like, well, I'm wasting these hours of my life. My life is actually coming closer to death. Closer to the end. Yeah. That's essentially what's happening. My life is coming closer to death, and I'm doing something that I don't even want to be doing in my life. Blowing money, just on gas, because I go to the gas station
like 2 to 3 times
a week. I go to the gas
Mm-hmm.
station twice a week. I went to the gas station yesterday, and as I was driving today, I was like, you're definitely going to need to go to the gas station like in a day or two. And so it's just focus on your trajectory, and if your trajectory doesn't look right, make a change. It's nothing wrong with getting rid of friends, and there's nothing wrong with keeping friends and just keeping them at a distance,
because sometimes you don't see them often.
Because sometimes you know people really well and you don't want to completely end it, but you need to notice when like the people around you aren't on the same path as you are.
Exactly.
It might not even be a bad path. It might just be a completely different path from yours. And so when you mix yourself with someone who's on a completely different path where it could slow you down, that's where you need to start making some changes. And
notice if your friends are pulling you back or building you up.
Yeah. And it's like, that's kind of how I had to be when it came to like in high school. Like people cared about niggas way too much to where people made that like
Freakum click.
People, oh my God,
That's
Jesus
the
Christ.
epitome of caring about niggas too much.
Yeah, like we had a party click called Freakum Click, which was just with a whole bunch of bitches that ain't shit now. One bitch is in prison, another bitch is
doing what the fuck ever.
Prostituting, low key.
Really?
And I mean,
I know who you talking about,
yeah,
but damn.
Yeah, she prostitute. And the other one ain't shit. Like another one ain't shit, living off a nigga who ended up kicking her out in the end. Like literally another one who's getting her ass beat by niggas. Like I was hanging around the wrong people. Yeah. Like, you know, like just the wrong people, but I'm glad I got the fuck out of that. Me too. Because when you're young, you really don't know what bad is. You're still figuring that shit out.
And you don't know what negative friends are, but that's why people always say like your parents know your shitty friends before you do.
Yeah.
That's really that shit right
there. That
there.
is kind of true because now I look back and I'm like, you got it right.
Touche, bomb and pop.
But yeah, so pay attention to your crowd. I think this is a good time to go to commercial break.
Yeah. Hey guys, I wanted to interrupt the show very quickly to bring you guys a Black business shout of the week. And so this week I'm bringing to you Panic Room Nails. They're located in Pasadena, California, and it is run by Rihanna, and she is amazing. I recently went to the nail salon this past weekend and got my nails done. And you guys, I literally cannot stop showing people my hands, and I can't stop freaking looking at my hands because you guys know how much I care about my nails. I have said this before, and I love having my nails done, and I love having my nails looking nice. So she does acrylic and natural gel nails, and the natural gel is a hard gel, so it actually protects your nails and helps them grow. And I know one problem that I was always noticing and running into is that my nails were bending, and when she did my nails don't bend at all. So these shits ain't breaking, guys, okay? And she is by appointment only. You can find her on Instagram at Panic Room Nails, or if you would like to schedule an appointment, you can email her or schedule your appointment at nailsbyrihanna.acuityscheduling.com / and I'll spell that for you guys. So nails, you guys know how to spell that, I hope. By Rihanna, I'll spell that RHIANA.acuity ACUITY scheduling.com / so you guys be sure to check them out if you guys would like to. I promise you'll be happy. Okay, so back to our regularly scheduled program.
Let her know we sent ya.
All right, guys, so we're back, and something heavy has been weighing on my mind and plenty of Americans' minds because once again another school has gotten shot up.
People have died.
Yeah, and the response is always not what we would like to see. Like this dumbass president that runs the United States,
I like
that I happen to live in. I had to catch myself because I don't claim him.
Not at all.
Just like niggas don't be claiming bitches, I don't claim him.
Right.
This dumb fuck,
that nigga
or whoever the fuck in his fucking organization or whoever the fuck has decided this, proposed to just arm teachers with guns instead of dealing with the larger problem at hand. Like, oh, let's fight guns with more guns. Like, when does that ever work?
First of all, the government is funded by the NRA, which I didn't know. I had to find out, which I was like, okay, so the government,
in the scheme of things.
Yeah, in the bigger scheme of things, it correlates to the fact that they continuously fund war in the military and everything related to that. They fund to get more money. They cut education because there's many reasons education is plenty. Cut. There's many good and bad reasons as to why education funds are cut. But it's like, you guys are obsessed with guns and you guys don't even want to begin, just like they didn't want to begin giving black people rights because they knew that we were going to be where we are to now. And it's like, we're doing well now. Imagine us when we get older. It's
we could have been booming as people if we didn't have to experience slavery.
So they're like, if we give black people a little bit of power, they're going to get a lot of power. Same thing. If we start restricting guns, then there's going to be no guns. And then all these other countries that we owe $8 billion to are going to come and try to take us over. And like I told you, my classmates are Chinese. So I was telling one of my friends who I was studying with, I was trying to explain to her like the black issues in America, and she was like, wow, that's really crazy. Like she was like, I love black people. It kind of sucks that this shit happens, And then I was telling her, I was like, oh, she's from China. I said, we owe you guys the most amount of money. I think we owe you some trillion.
Damn.
Like we owe you guys.
How are you even getting that type of debt?
Yeah, like trillion shouldn't even be a real number.
It shouldn't.
When it comes to money. It's like I was like, we owe you guys so much money that I told her, I said, my belief is that your country is going to be the next power country. Like, because just like the Soviet Union was in power at some point, U.S. wasn't. Like, U.S. just got in power less than 100 years ago. So we really shouldn't expect the U.S. to stay in power. It'll be weird if we're still alive when that happens. But when it happens, I'm going to be like, okay, well, as long as y'all don't kill me. Right? You know, you never know how it's going to go down.
Because in war, it's not like they scam people. Oh, like, oh, you with this cause. You're not. You're with this cause. Not. No, they blow every motherfucking body.
Yeah, because U.S. soldiers were blowing up children in Afghanistan. They were fucking killing kids.
Women and children, not only the bad people. They were like, oh, well, we could sacrifice these few lives for a bigger picture.
That's fucked up. And, like, we're not behind it, but it sucks because we live in the country that does it. So it's like, we also have to deal with the backlash that might come from it, God forbid.
And it's just like fighting violence with violence never works.
Yeah,
it's like you either, because like when it comes to war, when you're fighting violence with violence, it's until the other side gives up and it's like, yeah, we tired of dying. Like,
oh, man, we're tired. Good. I ain't even died and I'm tired of dying.
Yeah,
like, you know, like,
and so it's like to fight gun shootings in schools with providing teachers with guns when we have racist teachers out here that will shoot a fucking black kid because they say they got intimidated just like these punk ass fucking officers do. I do not believe that is the solution to the problem.
Exactly. Like, guns don't kill people. People kill people using guns.
Yes,
that's the difference.
Even if it is a fucking accidental shooting, like when people kill themselves in their homes, like cleaning their guns.
People, yeah. Some kid from my church actually did that. He like was at his friend's house and he was like, "Oh, what's that?" And he grabbed it, not knowing it was a gun, and he got shocked when he realized it was a gun, and that shit went off and killed him. And I was like,
R.I.P. to you, homie.
I know. I feel so
sorry
bad
you had to go that way.
And his guardian was fucked up after that.
Of course.
Yeah, like, because it wasn't even like his mom or dad. It was his guardian. Yeah. You know. So I was just like, fuck. Like, that's my fear about like just guns in general. I'm afraid of guns, and I wish like we could have security without guns. Like, I already think about it now because I'm like really trying to buy a house, and I'm like, I'd rather honestly invest in real good security because I don't know.
I don't want to shoot anybody. Like, I don't want to shoot anybody.
Honestly, if my husband's like, you know what, I need a gun in the house, like we got to do it. I'm gonna get it safe. I'm gonna have to let him. Because it's like I'm so impartial because of my conflictions with it. If he's like, you know, we got to get a gun, I'm gonna be like, well, lock that bitch up
and take gun handling courses. Like, be educated about your gun. Like,
and we're gonna drop bread on it to make sure the kids don't get into it. So we're gonna get a safe that's fingerprint. So only my fingerprint and my husband's fingerprint can open the safe, because the kids, like, it would suck if your kid's home alone and some shit happens and they want to grab the gun, but it's like, no,
and I'm sorry.
Like, we're gonna have security. Like, I'm gonna have the thing where it's like, obviously, you know, when the door opens and stuff you can hear it, but like I'm probably gonna have the cameras in the house where you can look on your tablet and see what's going on. Plus, kids are bad as fuck, and my parents had to leave us home alone because they worked. So it's like I want the same thing where it's like I can look at my kids while I'm at work and see what fuck shit they're getting into. I saw an instance
of that. Like, this mom saved her son's life because she had cameras and somebody broke in while her son was in the house, and like, so she was telling him where the guy was at so that he could hide and not get found out by the guy. Like, that's scary, but it's like at least she had those measures in place to be able to keep her kids safe, you know? And like, it's just, the world is scary, and I feel like arming teachers
world,
with
you
guns,
scary.
And I feel like arming teachers with guns just makes things even more scary.
It doesn't, nothing about that sounds helpful. Plus, guns are expensive, so the investment that would go into, first of all, teachers are underpaid, so the investment that would go into giving teachers guns, it's and like training you could have
given them raises and made them just care more. You know,
or you can just the DW Long, the elementary school that me and Ashley went to. You went to?
I did.
You started in second grade?
In the middle of the year.
Okay, yeah. So the elementary school me and Ashley went to, during the day, that shit's locked. You can't get in.
Oh yeah, you can't.
You can't get in. You have to call in. And make an appointment. These niggas have to let you in, and that's how it should be. The gates, they close the gates even on the backfield.
But okay, you know, the guy who shot up the school, he wasn't even supposed to be there. I think he was like on suspended. I can't even fucking say it right now. Like, because I was like skimming over an article, he was suspended from school, and they were like, if you see him coming towards the school with a backpack, do not let him come in, because he had already threatened people with guns. So it's like he was already like,
he was putting it all over his Facebook.
He was planning this shit.
Kids were saying like after it happened, kids were like, oh, we're not surprised it happened, because he seemed like he was going to do that. And it's like, are you guys fucking serious?
Like, and the fact that he got back on campus with a backpack and nobody stopped him. Like, where's your
automatic
campus
gun.
security?
Oh, okay. So I heard about what happened
What
with
happened?
the security. So you know how security guards are usually like old niggas or unfit niggas who are not fit at all.
Yeah.
So this security guard was actually not Vietnam War, but I know he was a war vet. He might have been Vietnam, but I'm not sure. He was like 55 years old. I think he was a little bit overweight, but I'm not sure. But he was a 33-year vet, so he was in the military for like 33 years, 30 years. He heard the gunshots. Mind you, he has a gun.
Yeah.
He heard the gunshots, and instead of doing what you're supposed to do, which is like handle the situation, he just stayed outside and called. And like he's to this day is still saying like I did a good job, which is like I could see his side because he could have walked in and the guy could have shot him
and then he wouldn't have been able to call anyone.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you were in war, I would think maybe you would try to trace the bullet direction with your ear. I don't know if that's possible.
Like, because I feel like I would like call the cops, and then like if this was my job, I would never fucking sign up for this shit.
Right.
Like if it was my job to protect and serve, I would call the cops first, call for backup, and then go find this motherfucker.
Yeah, because I feel like you can somewhat hear the direction in which the bullets are heading. So I would try to go on the opposite side of this nigga and shoot this nigga in the back of the head.
Yeah, because I feel like that delayed the classroom lockdowns and things like that. Like how one student threw himself in front of the door so the door could be closed and not his other classmates not die.
Damn, he died.
No, he's in the hospital. He's in like critical but stable condition. Yeah.
Damn.
But he's
God
still kicking. There was even a teacher that threw himself over students so that they wouldn't die.
I heard. Okay, so I did hear about that. There was a teacher and there was a student who tried to stop this guy, and I think there was some other faculty, like maybe a proctor or something, or two teachers. Like there were people who tried to stop it, and it's like, honestly, I was thinking about it because I was driving and I was like, if I saw the guy and his back was completely facing me,
I'll put you in a chokehold, bro.
I wouldn't even come. I would literally pick up a chair and with all my might try to kill him. I mean, one hit, like, because all you have is
like
one
knock
hit.
him out.
Like, or it's like if there's a shovel or something heavy. Because
once he turn that gun,
turn around, it's automatic.
Or like if you had some scissors and you could sneak up and cut his Achilles, bro.
Oh my god, but he might still turn around because nigga's still alive. Like, I would just try to crack him, like crack his skull open. That would be my ultimate goal. Is like if there's a baseball bat somewhere at that campus. Yeah, like somewhere. You know how at the gym they have the mallet and you could just hit a tire and it's workout. Like if they had something like that, I would literally just go for that swing and be like, let's hope definitely. I break his head open.
Most definitely. And I've heard discourse about how like judges and like people are like, he deserves the death penalty. Like people just putting their input in, and people are like, no, he doesn't. Like, no, that nigga need to fucking die.
That nigga
like,
should have died.
It's cool that like I completely understand that he had a rough like life because his mom had just died and he was somebody had taken him in and he was living with them. Like, so he was troubled, but that does not give excuse for him to go and slaughter people.
Yeah,
like it doesn't make sense.
He needs to get the same sentence as these black people because I'm so sick of the fucking troubled thing. These black boys are troubled too.
Troubled as fuck.
Because you know what? Some of them grew up with no parents. Some of them grew up in the foster home. Some of them were forced to sell drugs in the 5th grade, like Bobby Schmurder. Bobby Schmurder is a perfect example of a troubled youth.
Yep.
People knew, this is what I heard from Taxstone and other people. People knew about Bobby Schmurder. Mind you, he's a kid. Adults knew about Bobby Schmurder.
Oh, shit.
His name is his real name. He's known for killing people. So it's like people say, like, that's why people aren't like Bobby Schmurder. You'll never hear nobody say Bobby Schmurder pussy. Yeah, you don't hear it anywhere because that nigga was selling crack in the 5th grade. Like, he is the example of a troubled youth. So he's a perfect example. Like, people don't consider that these black kids are troubled because their ancestors were troubled, and then they
just want to throw them in jail, and it's like,
and like they're animals.
Need therapy.
Why are white kids treated like people and black kids treated like animals? These black kids are troubled because they didn't have a father, and these are just all examples, not saying that all happened to them.
Yeah,
a lot of these kids were molested because like even just hearing Charlemagne the God and his security guard Wax were both molested. Wax was eating pussy at 5 years old with bitches with yeast infections.
Oh no.
And Charlemagne was getting molested by a 20-something-year-old when he was 8, getting his dick sucked by a 20-something-year-old. Yeah, and it's like, so let's not forget, just like little hood girls are getting molested. Little niggas are getting molested
too.
And then it's like, then some people are seeing gun violence with their own eyes at a young age. That's trouble.
That's the part right there.
Some are seeing their parents on drugs, because the crazy thing is some people's parents be really on drugs in front of them. If you watch Intervention, you see the shit. Like, people really be. So it's like, these black kids have gone through some shit. Plus, they grow up with the mentality that they could be killed. That is mental health issues 101. You are
that anxiety
you have, and Charlamagne said that he always had anxiety.
And he didn't
know he had
it together.
Yeah. He didn't even know he had it.
Yeah, until he stopped being a street nigga. He realized, like, oh, I wasn't anxious because I was in dangerous situations. I'm anxious because I have anxiety.
I have anxiety issues because of what I went through. Like, Charlamagne is the example of a troubled youth who got through. Because I believe Charlamagne did therapy. I believe he did.
I know Andrew Schultz did.
I know for sure he does. Crystal does.
I can't remember.
Kid Fury does. Almost everybody. Like, a lot of people do therapy.
Like I've said before, the whole world has mental illness.
Yeah.
And the fact that we ignore it and treat it like, oh, this is normal, this is how life is supposed to go, is part of the problem and part of the reason why it's stigmatized. But literally, damn near the whole world has mental illness. There are very few people that are quote unquote normal.
Yeah, even when it comes, I was even thinking this week, like, when it comes down to me, like, not wanting to meet people, it's like I get anxious, I'm uncomfortable with people because people bring problems. But I notice, like, that's probably a mental health issue because I get really uncomfortable. Like, I'm like, I don't want to know you.
It might just be social anxiety,
which is a mental health issue, you know, like, and I'm pretty sure I have onsets of anxiety. I mean, I'm positive I have onsets of anxiety. So it's like, even little things like that, like, those are all mental health issues. We all have issues, more or less. It's just like how you address them. And that's why when they're like, oh, give teachers guns, it's like, do you not know some of these teachers
are depressed?
Fucked up?
They're mad they're not making a salary that's livable, and they gotta deal with badass fucking kids. They hate them motherfuckers. So they could have any reason to fucking shoot a kid. Like, imagine they keep the kid that's annoying them all the time after class, and then they be like, oh yeah, he tried to get my gun, I had to shoot him.
Why are we acting like, because teachers are teaching kids they're saints? Think about it like this. When I was a waitress, a ton of people in my job, everyone was smoking weed. Tons of people were on cocaine. Some people were on meth. Like, one guy was on heroin. Ew. But you look at your server like, oh, he's a nice guy who's gonna bring me my food, but you don't know this guy actually did heroin right before he came in.
Yeah.
And then same with teachers. Just because they're teaching your child doesn't mean if I was a teacher, I'm still gonna go home and smoke weed, first of all. But there's teachers who are like, they're going home and they're doing massive drugs. They're going home and they're fighting physically with their significant other. I mean, not saying all of them do that, but these people are in the system. So why are we handing them guns? They're nobody different. Like,
exactly.
If they said, oh, like, there's a group of monks and a group of Catholic clergy, and we think we should teach them weaponize, because they have only been taught to treat people well, there's a smaller chance of them just shooting everyone. Yeah. And obviously you need to make sure they're not the radical Christians, right? Because radical Christians will be killing people.
Them motherfuckers is crazy.
Like, y'all need to chill out. But
I need y'all to chill.
Yeah, that whole gun issue just annoys the fuck out of me. And like, I can't wait till these 4 years of Trump is over, because he's not getting reelected, because
I'm gonna put that out there now. In full support.
He's not getting reelected, and because I think Democrats got a kick in their ass by this guy becoming president, being like, because I know Democrats who didn't vote because they had work or because they nigga, make time.
Bruh, you could get an absentee ballot.
Make time.
Please don't make excuses like that.
Figure it out. Like, you need to vote, because look what the fuck happened.
Because if people could lie and do a ballot, you could for sure get you an absentee ballot or find some location near your job that you can vote at.
Yeah, and he targeted the places that would vote for him the most. So even though more people voted for Hillary, he had more of the electoral vote.
He
purposely
picked his states.
Purposely. Yeah. He was very strategic about the shit. So everyone needs to get a little bit smarter. These 4 years need to teach us some more, like, the whole good
and
shit.
Even if you feel like your voice isn't going to make change, your voice will add to the other voices trying to make change and help empower that movement. So don't ever feel like, oh, I'm just one person, I can't do anything. You definitely can.
Yeah, you definitely
can do more than you think you can in every aspect of life.
Yeah, we had another topic, but I think we should talk about it on the next episode.
Yeah, me too.
Because we're gonna go on about that shit for a long time. I mean, because the next subject has a lot to do with the whole reasoning of our whole podcast starting up.
Exactly.
So
it's like an origin story reignited.
But yeah, you guys feel free to tell us how you feel about the gun issues. What have you read? What have you heard? Because, you know, some news isn't real, some news is, you know, we just want to talk about it because we not only do we need to make change, we need to be part of it, which includes educating ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to hear you guys' input because my solution may not be the same as yours, and I absolutely love hearing other opinions even if I don't agree with them.
Right. Like I hope people aren't afraid to say something that we're totally against.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
The only message that I'll completely ignore if someone's like, you fucking nigger.
Yeah.
Fuck you niggers don't know what the
like
fuck
if
you're
I
talking
see
about.
white power or any of that sort of shit
I'm
in
just
your
gonna
message,
report you to the FBI.
Yep.
I'm just gonna report you.
Say I felt uncomfortable because most likely I will feel uncomfortable.
I felt threatened.
Yep.
For my life.
Yeah.
Really?
Anytime somebody's radically white, I'm nervous.
I'm threatened for my life, and we're gonna use the same excuse these police officers did. This man made me feel threatened for my life. And side note, somebody in Norco College, which is close to us, some guy who went there started writing on his Facebook talking about he's gonna shoot up the school.
Like, why you tell people? I mean, I'm glad you are.
I'm glad he did. This same Florida nigga did too, and nobody did anything. So once this Norco nigga did that,
they was like, hey,
everybody, NCIS, FBI, everybody. This nigga got extracted so quick. He's done.
Extracted.
He got
like he was on a mission.
Nigga, they extracted him
out.
They went to his house and pulled him out of his house. He didn't even go to the school. He wasn't even physically getting ready to do anything.
Yeah.
They found weaponry in their house. Wow. And mind you, they found an AK-45 or AK-47. And they found an AK-47 loaded. Mm-hmm. They found 2 handguns loaded. So all of his shit was loaded, and they found a ton of ammunition.
I just want to know why guns like that are illegal. Like I understand a small handgun for protection, but not a fucking AK.
Yeah, automatic guns shouldn't be legal at all.
Like, is it legal?
Automatic guns. I remember DJ Envy was talking about that because he has an automatic. Oh, there. You know how it's different in every state.
Oh yeah, like Texas.
Because DJ Envy was talking about he has one for the protection of his kids, but he was like they shouldn't even be legal. He was like the only reason I still have it is because it's not illegal yet.
Oh wow, Uzis, AK-47s, AR-15s.
That's what he had. AR-15.
Bushmaster semi-automatic rifles are all banned by California Assault Weapons Control Act. Yet thousands of guns illegally remain in the state.
Yeah, and people forget that. That's why you know that they're moving and trying to ban gun shows because people are selling guns in parking lots. That's how a ton of people are getting their guns. They're saying, oh, you're at a gun show, you like guns, let me sell guns in the parking lot. So they'll be like, just like how you find weed in Vegas. Like, hey, bro, you
see that creepy nigga whispering down the street.
Yeah, he be whispering under his voice and you're like,
what the fuck?
Did that nigga just say weed?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same way with the gun shows. These niggas are selling guns in the parking lot. So I don't really fuck with guns. I'm going to just get as successful as I can so I can afford
the protection that I need.
Yeah, exactly. High security.
Yeah.
If my partner decides they want a gun, I'm just going to go with it. But we're also going to drop bread on a safe that requires a fingerprint.
That's
I don't
definitely necessary. And to learn how to use the gun. Shooting ranges are A1.
I still haven't gone to a shooting range.
They're fun.
Yeah, I need to go.
That's the only way that I support guns.
That's funny because people are like, shooting ranges are fun. And it's like, I think these niggas who are killing people are having fun.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
And that's the sick part.
That's the sick part. So, you guys, let us know what you think. This conversation going forever because I just really don't want to get shot. So y'all put prayers up that I don't get shot. Oh, let's do a Look at God segment real quick. So I have a Look at God
ICU universe
or ICU universe for all you guys who
the atheists, the non-believers,
work off of energy. So my last Look at God in the last episode was that like at the end of this week I'll be done with finals and it's the end of the week, so I'm done with finals. It's like those session classes, so it's a half semester. So I had a final in my half semester class, and that class is over, and that teacher was a dick. So I'm glad I never have to go back to that guy's class. And then my Friday class, I actually have a 98% in that class. And then the final, I knew almost every answer. So I'm like, bitch, I got an A in that class. Same with the final I took on Tuesday, which is the teacher I don't like. I knew almost every answer. So I'm like, fuck yeah, nigga, my GPA going up, nigga. So I'm on break now, but I mean, break is relative because I have to go to work.
Yep. Niggas need money, B.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm getting money in a week because I get paid bi-weekly. So
I'm getting paid when we go to NY.
I know. I just got paid, so now I don't. No, but no, I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
But
sorry.
I'm excited to be on break because if you think about it, we're almost getting to go on vacation.
Yeah, I can't.
I wonder if they can understand.
I'll reiterate for Nina. We're almost ready to go on vacation. Almost time for vacay.
Oh my God. And you guys will see us because we'll definitely vlog it.
Yeah, I'm taking 1,000,000 pictures
Yeah.
too.
You'll just see why this is my look at God when you see our vlog. I'm excited.
And my look at God is my tax refund came.
Oh,
I needed that motherfucker because I just bought a new laptop for the podcast primarily, and because I'm starting school, and like that shit broke my fucking bank account. I'm not gonna front because I'm not rich yet, so it broke my fucking bank account. And I was looking online today. I decided to check my bank account to see if I had the funds to get Logic Pro and still make it through this week. And I had my tax refund in there. It was like such a surprise. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, God, I see you. Because I looked and I was like, hold on. I had to check to see where the money came from. I was like, this can't, bet not be a mistake. Like,
okay,
let me see where this money came from.
Okay.
So I looked and it said my tax refund. I was like, okay. Because I was like, I know I don't get paid this weekend.
Okay, tax returns are a look at God in themselves, but hopefully you ain't one of them bitches that spend the whole thing on the Louis bag.
Or like a down payment on a car.
Yeah, like
unless you really need one.
I mean, you can spend on a down payment on a car, but please have some car payments actually set up. Like, please have some money for your car payments. Because I've never, ever like scrounged up money for a car payment.
No.
Like, so none of it, I would never want to risk losing my car.
No.
You know, like, I love my car. Why would I let these niggas take my shit?
And I need my car so badly.
I only got one.
Right?
So if you take my shit, I'm fucked because I drive a lot.
Am I getting anywhere?
I drive 10 to 12 hours a week.
Yep.
So without I mean, I would get a rental and then break the bank because the rentals are way more expensive. So just stupid. Like, tax returns are amazing.
They are.
Yeah. So
use them for good causes. Use them for advancement. I wanted mine to be in my savings account, but bitches needed laptops. So
yeah, bitches just need things, but
the podcast matters.
Yeah. So anyway, so make sure to find us on Apple Podcasts. We're the Young and Gettin with an apostrophe, Young and Gettin it podcast. Subscribe on there, rate, leave a review. Let us know how you feel.
I don't know why I thought you said rape.
Oh,
whoa.
like,
whoa, bitch.
Whoa. Do not rape.
Don't.
Do not
Consent
do
is
that.
key.
Consent. Ask her if she's down. If she's drunk, you're raping her, by the way.
It's illegal.
If she's passed out, you're a whole rapist. Just so you know. Also, you're a whole rapist. Also, you can find us on soundcloud.com/weareyagip. You can also follow us on there, comment on there. We always comment back because we love y'all niggas. You can also find us on YouTube. Once again, search Young and Gettin It podcast. We're going to put all this stuff in the description too, so you can just click it. And on our website, we hyperlink it, so you literally can just click it. You can also find us on GooglePlay, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast, because we're everywhere, my nigga.
Hey. And you can also find us on Facebook. I'm gonna get it right this time. It's www.facebook.com/YAGI pod. Okay, guys? And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at YAGI_podcast. Hit us up on there, comment, tell us something in our DMs that's not derogatory or sexual. And you can also email us at ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. And you can also find everything, if you forget everything that I just named and that Nina named, you could go on our website at www.weareyagip.com, and we look forward to interacting with y'all.
Yes, and thank you for everyone that's been listening. To have people really start following our show is pretty amazing.
We appreciate
we just started. We just passed the 4,000 listen milestone, which is crazy because we only been up for 4 months. So how the fuck did we get 4,000?
Even listens? South Africa is listening. Yeah. South Africa, I see you.
Okay, shout out to Canada, I see you. Shout out to UK, I'll be there. We'll be there soon. So shout out to y'all. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for supporting us. We see your comments, DMs. I mean, y'all have talked to us. So
yeah, we see everything.
We fuck with y'all heavy, and we're keeping our eye on the people who genuinely support us. Because those are the people that when the time comes to be like, hey, could we do something? If it works for both of us, we'd be down to do it. Obviously we ain't gonna feature you as a special guest if you work at Wendy's, but if you fuck with us heavy, we fuck with you heavy. 2018 is gonna be a powerful ass year. So we'll see y'all soon. Episode 17 is in the motherfucking books.
Yeah.
All right, catch us online, and thank you for listening again. We out.
Peace and love.